We've had kind of a wet start to our morning here. It was raining early this morning, so I don't think I'll be doing more outdoor shooting today, more so than this. But that's okay. A little bit of rain is good. So those of you on your 90-day video journey, you may come to a point where you might wake up some morning and you find you've nothing to talk about on your 90-day video journey. And it's very normal for that to happen. Our wonderful Irene Webster, the moderator of, not the moderator, the administrator of the 90-day video challenge. I remember Irene talking about it being quite normal, especially around the day 50 mark, that you can hit a bit of a wall, a little bit like a marathon, I guess, and that, you're just stuck for things to talk about. And the reason I bring that up, I found that to be the case for me a little bit this morning. I was thinking, and typically, I don't know, you may think about the night before or the morning, what you're going to talk about that day. Typically for me, it's in the morning. I got my morning routine, get a bit of exercise in. It's during that time I say, okay, well, what am I going to talk about today? And what I referred back to was that at the beginning of my journey, when I started to prepare to go on the 90-day video journey, on my phone I created a little group, and it was just a message group. And typically I was writing down things that may be useful discussion topics. And over time, that list, I hadn't referred to it for quite a while. And so there were just a few bullet point things that I'd written on that, and I found myself referring to that this morning. It's stuff that I wrote down weeks ago. And one of the things that was on that list was that cutting out all the noise. And I remember thinking about it at the time, and I was thinking, yeah, that might be an interesting topic. And what I'm referring to as being the noise was pretty much the social, let's say the TV noise. I call it fast food TV. And typically, I was at one point, I remember when I worked in ships and also when I was in the traveling position and staying in hotels from about 2010 to about 2014, religiously, I started my day with CNN. I just felt that I had to be totally up to speed on what was going on in the world. My day didn't feel complete without catching up on CNN first thing in the morning. I mean, I look back on it now, I'm like, what was I thinking, Ian? And interestingly enough, for me, a shift in me started happening when I moved to Hawaii. And when I was getting myself set up in my home there, I decided that I was going to try for a month. I was not going to have cable on my TV. And do you know what? I didn't even miss it the slightest at all. In fact, I enjoyed not having it. And did it mean that I was disconnected from the world? Absolutely not. But I did it more on my terms. Even now I have my news apps. I've got my Daily Mail. I've got my Irish Independent app. So if and when I want to catch up on the news, absolutely I can do it. I'm not a slave to TV anymore. And I like that. And for me, going on this SFM journey, even more so, I decided to really take another look at that and cut out a lot of that noise, because I felt that I needed to clear myself. And so although typically, we haven't had cable down here, but we watch Netflix and we follow, the different series and things on that. And I found myself going into my SFM journey. I just didn't have time. I really didn't have time, and I didn't have an interest. I much prefer to spend the time on more useful things that I can come away and learn something. So for me, when I talk about fast food TV, it's typically things that you don't come away from it feeling any the wiser or any happier. Tell me the last time we sat down and watched the news and you came away from it feeling better about yourself and feeling good about the world. I don't think it really happens like that. So for me, it was just a very conscious effort to take a little bit more control of that. And even to the point of social media, like my YouTube now, I enjoy a lot of YouTube, I always have. but I've streamlined it. I've cut out all the noise, and I would have had CNN on my YouTube as well, and different things. Now I have it with things that matter to me. I have it with people that motivate me. I do have my Formula One there because I'll always love Formula One, the motor racing. But motivational speakers, yeah, things, topics that I can come away from and say, wow, that was kind of cool, and gave me something to think about. So for me, and even on Facebook, for example, I spend very little time scrolling. I get on there with the purpose to connect with friends, to connect with family, and now to connect with, obviously, friends through the SFM community. But I don't allow myself just to spend an hour just scrolling. And it is very easy to do that. But I just find by cutting out that noise, it gives me a clearer head, and it also gives me more time to focus on my journey through SFM, and in completing those tasks that I set out for me every day. When I see the approach I have to each day, I couldn't spend the amount of time watching fast food TV and stay on track with what I'm doing now. So listen, it may give you some pause for thought on hopefully helping you on your journey, and possibly just having to think about, okay, what do I really want to focus on, and what's going to make me the strongest mindset on this journey that it could be. So hope you enjoyed the share. Yeah, let me know what you think, and hope you find it useful. So gonna get cracking with the day here. Coffee's on, lots going on. Hope you have a lovely day. It's Friday. Oh my gosh, can't believe another weekend is here. That is crazy. But I hope you've been having a really great week, and that you have a lovely day ahead. And as always, please be really gentle on yourselves. And thanks so much.